When you get the email that says you're going on site to a winery to sell, you sort of envisaged yourself sitting inside a beautiful cellar with great company and a glass of beautiful local Pinot right in front of you. And bing! That's exactly what we've got right here. We're at Lake George Winery, which has come onto the market, and we are here to show you through it. We've got Frank from Auction Advantage and also Sarah, who is the vendor, and we're going to learn a little bit about this amazing place. So Frank, first of all, welcome, and tell us a little bit about what we have here on site.
Well, Cam, you would have heard about it on the grapevine, obviously, and it's lovely meeting a seller in a cellar. In terms of lifestyle opportunity and entrepreneurial opportunity, this is really a blank canvas. It's a touch under 112 hectares, and the grapes this year, it's a half a century since they were planted away. And the great vintage of our cool climate wines comes from the wineries like this. I was looking at some calculations earlier today, and when you leave William Street in Sydney, you would have done that on a long weekend. There is not one set of traffic lights between Sydney and here. And I can let you know that it's one track of rumours, Fleetwood Mac, from the border of Canberra, right?
But one of the things also, and I'll just interrupt you there, because I love coming over, especially at the moment. So you pass Max Reef Road on the way out, you come over the hill, and Lake George just looks spectacular at the moment, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, it reminds me of the 80s when it was full. Yeah. The only thing that's really full around here are the tourists that just pour in to this established opportunity. It's 20. Really, over the years we've dealt with so many entrepreneurs in Canberra, and this really is about someone taking this next step. Sarah's done all the hard work, right? She's got a DA approval, she tells me, to host 10,000 people here with a day on the green, and you've got the earth to do it, right?
Yeah.
It's just a perfect opportunity for someone that wants to paint their own palette.
Yeah, so let's, Sarah, bring you into the conversation. Old friend, may I say. You must have just loved being here over the years and bring it up to what it is now.
Yeah, and, I think Frank talked about, the lake being full. There's nothing more breathtaking than the moon rising over the lake and the reflection, and beautiful sunrises here are just sensational, and you don't actually understand it unless you live here. It is beautiful.
You've produced beautiful vintages over the years. Tell us what it's like being at the cellar door on a Sunday with both locals coming in from out of Canberra and Queanbeyan, the capital region, and then people from further afar coming down from Sydney and elsewhere.
I actually love doing the cellar door, especially on Sundays. We got all the ski crowd, and people from Sydney having a great time telling me what it was like on the mountain, and then picking up their case of wine to enjoy it for the next week. So it's lots of fun.
Frank, to some of the infrastructure, what is on site here? What do we get as a part of the sale?
Look, it's significant. We've got, and the permitted use, it's a broad spectrum. It's RU1 zoning, which essentially means you could build an airstrip here if you wanted to. You can run a bed and breakfast, you can run accommodation, subject to consent, logically. We've got this amazing venue for weddings. We've got eight, I think it is, Sarah, Airbnbs. Yep. And we've got the homestead. So it's a mixed business and basically presents the perfect opportunity for someone, as we emerge out of the 2 years of lockdown, right? If you want to spread your wings, this is the perfect place to do it. We had an independent valuation done on the property. And the reality is that we are committed to selling at auction, right? So the business is being sold with the asset. So what that really means for those buyers is it's an active asset, so GST logically doesn't apply, right? Does that sort of answer the general question, Cam?
100% it does. Now, you alluded to it right at the beginning there, but Sarah, this place also has amazing history, doesn't it?
It does, and this year it's actually 50 years since it was first planted by the Hood family, who of course planted some amazing varieties. And a little bit of historical knowledge was this vineyard actually grew the fruit that went into Clonakillas' first vintage.
Yeah, wow. All right, Frank, let's talk about, as you said and alluded to also with the auction. So let's have the details in and around that.
Okay, so I think I've got my calendar right. It is the 23rd day of July at 3 p.m. on site. We're not selling pre-auction, and I'll tell you why. Buyers, future owners, need sufficient time to make their own inquiries, okay? It will be on site here, and I would encourage, I've got a comprehensive information package. And with Sarah, we're happy to facilitate inspections from some of our Sydney cousins. If they want to stay overnight, we'll have some accommodation provided. I can assure you that I won't be here. Nevertheless, it's our commitment to sell on the 23rd of July, and we hope to see as many of you as possible out here.
Fantastic, Sarah. Very quickly and finally, yourself and I know your extended family have been in local wine business and industry for a long, long time. Just sitting in here, especially with dusty bottles that have been around for a long, long time, this is a special place, isn't it?
It is, and we do invite people to come and sit in here and enjoy it, and pick a bottle and open it up and let it breathe and just taste what happened back in 1987.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right, so why don't we all look straight down the lens and just say cheers. Come and have a look at Lake George Winery, and what an amazing opportunity.